You look absolutely amazing.
So do you. I was just going to say the same thing to you. Thank you. You
Thank
look
you so
gorgeous.
much. It's a beautiful day out. It's I'm in New York, so it's
Ah,
and we're finally getting good weather.
I know you really feel like you've earned it when you live on the East
Yeah, it's
Coast.
been a long winter and a long year, so
Hmm.
definitely. You play the female lead opposite of John Stamos in Big Shot. Can you tell me a little bit about your character?
Yeah, so I play Coach Holly, who is the assistant coach at the high school. And John comes in to take over the lead coaching role. And when the show begins, I think Holly's really excited at the idea of this. You know, she's a sports fan, she's an NCAA fan. So, you know, she's going to get to work alongside somebody who's so incredibly accomplished. But then I think she realizes very quickly that there's a difference between like coaching at that competitive level and then also coaching high school students where you're really guiding them in skills more than just basketball. And she's really protective of the girls, and a lot of the dynamic between Coach Korn and Coach Holly is really how to coach them, what the philosophies of coaching are. And I think we both learn from each other. I think Holly learns that she can push the girls a little bit harder. And I think that Coach Korn learns that he's going to have to get to know them as individuals if he really wants to have an impact.
I really like how your character kind of guides John Stamos to be kind of a more lighthearted coach. What was
Yeah.
it like working with him, John Stamos?
Working with John is exactly what you think it will be. He is hilarious. He is generous. He is creative. He is enthusiastic, and he is tireless. The guy has so much energy. There is no, you cannot like let yourself appear to be tired at any time because you would look so weak beside him. I don't know how he does it. I don't know what he eats. I don't know what his like exercise deal is. I don't know what his secret is, but he's kind of exactly what you think. He's just full of creativity and enthusiasm and also just generosity. He's so good to the crew. He's so good to the girls. He's incredibly kind to me. I want to tell you something bad about him, but there's nothing.
It sounds like he's kind of a life coach and a coach on screen. I mean, it sounds amazing to work with him. Were you a fan of Full House at all? Or like, how was it when you found out you're
Listen,
going to be in a
I
film?
was a fan of General Hospital. You know, that's how far back I go. But yeah, I mean, I think like a lot of us, I was a fan of John Stamos. And you know, it's kind of they always say like don't meet your idols or something like that. But in the case of him, I actually feel like he, for me, just on a very personal level, meeting him and working with him happened at a really great moment in my life because he kind of brings a sort of passion and energy and a life to the work that reminded me of how fun it is and how much it matters that you're personally invested. And it's really exciting to work with a lead like that because then it kind of makes everybody work at that level.
Well, I love the dynamic between you two. I think you
Thank
guys
you.
work well, very well together. Last question. What do you want people to know when watching this film, this series?
I hope what people take away from this is I think a lot of times we tell stories about girls that, in a way, almost minimize them to just a few issues. You know, whether it's something about boys or fashion or you know, just themes that we typically or infighting, that kind of thing. And I'm so proud of this show because through the lens of this basketball team, we're learning and we're being reminded that girls are complex and they're ambitious and they have drive and they have interests. And yes, they are controlled by insecurities and doubts and questions, as we all are. But at the end of the day, we're all multifaceted and we all have dreams. And I'm just incredibly proud to be on a show that is reminding us of something that we knew, but I don't think we always feature.
I absolutely love this series. I'm so excited to see more of it. I
Thank
do really
you.
love that it's like female empowerment. I feel like
Mhm.
there's not a story like this, and
Yeah.
it's just really such a great series. I'm very excited to tell everyone about it.
You're
So
making me
thank
so
you so
happy.
much for your
Thank you.
time. So it's so great to see you guys. Disney Plus is releasing this series, Big Shot, and I'm so excited about it. Sophia, you played John Stamos's daughter in the show. Can you tell me about your character and how it was working with John Stamos?
Yes. Yes. I love my character, Emma. I love watching her relationship with her father evolve over the course of the series, and you really do get to see all of that. And I love that her relationship with her dad is always kind of central to the show, no matter what's going on at Westbrook or what's going on with the team or any drama there. I feel like I could always count on her relationship with her father. So I loved watching their relationship grow. I loved seeing how they kind of parent each other in funny ways. And John is just so much fun to work with. He's so talented, so kind and genuine, and just brings his whole self to everything that he does. So it was really a dream to work with him.
How did you feel when you found out that you were going to be filming with John Stamos?
Very excited. I mean, it's always intimidating if you're working with somebody who's that experienced, but he really is so down to earth. Like, he's just the best person. So after, that initial meeting session, I remember we all had a little cast table read, and then that was it. And it just was normal. And it was, he's just such a good scene partner because he knows exactly what he's doing. He knows exactly how to throw something in that's new, or to keep everything feeling fresh. So that was great.
Well, that sounds incredible. Nell, I really enjoyed your character. She's very confident, but seems to be under a lot of pressure. What do you want people to know about Louise?
Louise is just a spitfire. She's so much fun to play. She's got a lot of attitude and is really, really good at what she does, which is play basketball. And so when Stamos' character, Coach Corin, comes to Westbrook to coach, and she is the captain of this team, definitely causes some conflict, which is very fun to watch. So hopefully people will get to see.
Can't wait to tell everyone about this series. I think it's awesome, especially that it's an all-female basketball varsity team that they focus on, because I feel like you don't really see that a lot. And I love all the friendship between you guys. Monique, did you play basketball or any sports? I'm really curious to know if there were like any trainings involved for this film.
So I only played basketball a little bit in middle school, but before we actually started shooting the show, we had 2-month period of basketball practice like every single day. So we really were learning the skills and the different moves that we'll need to know for the show. And we also built like relationships amongst each other. So we got to build a lot of trust with each other, a lot of patience. And I feel like that gets to be seen on Big Shot as well, like throughout all of the girls who are playing, and then our relationship with John Stamos' character, Marvin. The viewers will really get a chance to see all of the hard work that we put in off screen.
And what was it like being part of this film for you?
It was an amazing experience. I love that we have such a big ensemble cast. So we get to work with lots of different people all the time. So I feel like I'm constantly learning different things and different scenes that I get to do.
And as the show evolves, you'll see different relationships with different characters. So it was really fun as a member of the cast. Like, oh, today I have a scene with this person who I've never had a scene with. All the characters and their own personal, journeys kind of intersect in fun ways. And so as the series goes on, that's hopefully really fun to watch. But it was really fun to make, and everyone in the cast is so talented, and you can't.
It looked so fun to be a part of. There was a lot of drama, but it's like mixed with like comedy, which I love. Nell, what was your favorite part about being part of the series?
My favorite part of being a part of this series? That's hard. I have a lot. I think that it was my big job for me that I hadn't done before. And so I just learned so much. And John is like the most incredible guy. And he made a point to make all of us comfortable and feel free to do what we want, which was so much fun. And then to meet all the girls and be on a team with them, and fake being a really good basketball player. Hopefully I've gotten better, but yeah, I would say there's a lot of parts to it, but those are a few.
This series is truly inspiring. You guys all play such great roles. Tiana, your character wasn't too fond of Stamos in the beginning. Can you tell me about your role and how it was working with John Stamos?
So Destiny, obviously, she comes off to a bit of a rocky start with Coach Corin in those first couple episodes, but he actually becomes a bit like a mentor to her in terms of the basketball. And he kind of transforms her from this player who's just on the team for college applications to, someone who actually really just loves the sport and, loves showing up to practice and loves getting better and obviously loves winning. And so I think that's kind of exactly how it ended up being with John as well, in terms of just me and his personal relationship. Like, he really is the sweetest. Like, he's so funny to be around, and he's just a ball of fun. And so when it came to kind of doing those scenes, it was very easy to kind of act as though he was someone who I looked up to and someone who I was allowing to kind of shape who I was as Destiny, because that's how it felt. He was very, very easy to be around, and I felt super grateful to be working with him.
That's super amazing. Tisha, your role is sort of the opposite, and you urge your team to give Stamos a chance. What was being part of the show like for you?
It was incredible. This is my first big show, and it's also, I feel like, everyone else's first big show in this room. So working with John and all these veteran actors was just such a blessing, because they understand how this industry works, and they're so generous with their time and their knowledge of this industry, and they're not they don't hesitate to help us at all, and they don't hesitate to give us advice.
I love that this show is an all-female, like, girls team. I think we don't see that very often, and all of you guys together is just so incredible. Like you said, Cricket, this show is about friendship and being a team player. Can you relate to your character at all?
I would say Samantha and I do have some similarities. I'd say one of the main similarities is Samantha's definitely a team player and she loves cheering people on. Cricket is also very much a cheerleader. I just love seeing my friends succeed. And I think that's one of the really cool things about this show is, like Tiana said in a different interview, but in general, a lot of shows, you might see girls versus girls, and this show very much so. Of course, we have our little tiffs or our little confusions, misunderstandings, all that jazz, but we really are just a team. We want what's best for each other. We're there for each other in any way that we need. And I think it's really nice to see that.
Were you guys fan of Full House at all? How did you guys feel like when, you found out that John Stamos was going to be part of this? Yeah, go ahead.
I got excited. Every time someone asks this, I get excited. I have seen every episode of Full House. It's probably the first show I've ever seen every episode of. I remember when my managers told me after we'd already booked it, they were like, oh, we think that this is who the coach is going to be. My mouth dropped open. I could not believe it because I'm just such a big Full House fan. And Tiana and I talked about this, but had I known going into the audition, John was going to be the coach, no way in heck would I be on the show right now, because I would have been so shaken. That would have thrown me way off my game and I wouldn't be here today. So I'm kind of glad I didn't know he was a part of it till after.
I was also a big Full House fan. And I was actually at a Target when Tiana texted us that John would be the coach. And my jaw dropped too. And I started screaming and everyone was like, what's going on?
I'm sure you guys have seen Fuller House as well. That's amazing. I'm really excited to tell everyone about the show. Congratulations, guys. And I hope to speak with you guys soon.